Hey guys, welcome back to LJFK Gaming, to a new video of Formula 1. Today I'm talking to you about my predictions of the Formula 1 lineup that I predict who will be driving for next season. Well, you got Mercedes and you got Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas. I think they'll be staying next season for Mercedes. And by the way, Alva, I follow him on Twitter and I watch him on YouTube. And on Twitter, he put a thing out about Lewis Hamilton retiring in 2021 before the high-tech cars come to Formula 1. And you got Pierre Gasly, something about him, but I'll get to it. But yeah, so if I sound a bit croaky, I was sick yesterday and I was not playing off a cold. So yeah, Ferrari's got Sebastian Vettel and Kimi Räikkönen at the moment. I reckon Kimi Räikkönen's gonna retire this year. People are saying that he was gonna retire last season, but he stayed in Ferrari for another whole season that went into this year. But I reckon he's gonna retire at the end of this season. And who will take Kimi Räikkönen's seat when he leaves? If that's what I think will happen. I reckon Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc has been very good in Sauber. He just joined, he just joined Formula 1 and he's done pretty good. He's got decent points. He's gone out of Q1 at least, which is a good thing when you come into a higher class of a Formula 1. You go from Formula 2 to Formula 1 is a big difference. The cars are much faster, much quicker, and you're a rookie and you are out of Q2 when you join a team. But I think Charles Leclerc will be next to Sebastian Vettel for Ferrari. So I reckon it's locked in. I reckon it'll be Sebastian Vettel and Charles Leclerc. Red Bull will have Max Verstappen definitely locked in. Now Pierre Gasly, he's in Toro Rosso right now, but he is actually locked in to be in Red Bull for next season, so that's actually an actual team that's locked in. I think it'll be Pierre Gasly and Max Verstappen for Red Bull next season that are locked in. So Ricciardo, people think that Ricciardo couldn't. Well, the commentators like David Crofty and Martin Brundle think that or what their names are. I forgot the names, but I know one of them is David Croft. They're talking about how Ricciardo is not gonna be, won't have a chance to win the Drivers' Championship in the Red Bull, but they think he's gonna win a different car like Renault or Mercedes. But Max Verstappen, people think that he has a chance to win the Drivers' Championship in the Red Bull. So next is Renault. And talking about Ricciardo, he's actually locked in for Renault. Surprise, surprise. So this was actually another thing that Alva posted on Twitter about Daniel Ricciardo being locked into Renault. And alongside him is going to be Nico Hulkenberg, I reckon will be locked in Renault. And where's that put Carlos Sainz? Well, he could be a reserve driver and push the other reserve driver out to be part of like the crew in the garage and put Carlos Sainz as the reserve driver. Now, Haas, I reckon, will be Roman Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen. But I think they'll be staying for next season. So I reckon it'll be Marcus Ericsson, no, Kevin Magnussen and Grosjean, Roman Grosjean, will be locked in. Okay, so next is McLaren Renault. So they got Alonso and they got Stoffel Van Dorn. So I think Alonso will be staying for another whole year to let McLaren have another chance. You know, well, he gave him another chance for this season. And I reckon he's hoping that by the time he retires at McLaren, like when he leaves McLaren, that there'll be a top team fighting with Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull. But Stoffel Van Dorn, he's not doing so well. He's never getting out Q1, he's always down the bottom, like near the Williams, the Toro Rossos, you know, the Saubers, more like the Williams and the Saubers. But I think because Alonso is 37 years old, he's the second oldest driver in Formula 1 right now. The old person is Kimi Räikkönen, he is 38 years old. But Alonso, I think he'll be staying until the time that Lewis Hamilton leaves. You know, or will retire from Formula 1. But I think it'll be Fernando Alonso and Lando Norris. And where that put Stoffel Van Dorn, well, he could be, because I'm pretty sure Lando Norris right now is a reserve driver. I think Stoffel Van Dorn would be pushed to a reserve driver. Because I think Lando Norris has, you know, I think he'll be able to actually do a decent job in McLaren. So I reckon it'll be Fernando Alonso and Lando Norris for next season. Force India, they got Esteban Ocon and Sergio Perez. I reckon they'll be staying in to, they'll be locked in for next season. But people are saying that Esteban Ocon is going to Mercedes, but no, because they got Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas. And I don't think Mercedes will accept the contract right now. Sorry, guys. I don't think that they'll actually have. I don't think Mercedes will let Esteban Ocon be in that team yet. I think they'll say we'll accept you once Lewis Hamilton retires from Mercedes and the sport of Formula 1. Then they'll put Esteban Ocon in the Mercedes. And yeah, so I reckon it'll be Esteban Ocon and Sergio Perez. Toro Rosso Honda. Well, last season they were a bottom team with Williams and Sauber and McLaren. Then, it's pretty much those four fight from last year. But now, the fight for Force India is more like the Williams and the Sauber are fighting. But Toro Rosso Honda, they got not Peter Gasly anymore, but I reckon Brendan Hartley's definitely locked in. And I think they'll have, because Jack Aiken, I think he's more for a Renault sport, so I reckon he'll be going to Renault, but he could also go to Williams or, but I reckon it'll be George Russell going to Well, I think it might be George Russell. But I see more of George Russell being in a Sauber. But I think it'll be Jack Aiken and Brendan Hartley. Williams, they have Lance Stroll and so does Sorokin. People are saying also that apparently Lance Stroll is going to Force India next year. But I think they're going to wait till Lewis Hamilton leaves Formula 1 in 2021 and put Esteban Ocon in the Mercedes in 2022, put Lance Stroll in the Force India also in 2022, and which means they'll leave Williams. But Williams, I reckon, have Sergio Sorokin and Lance Stroll. Sauber, I think, Marcus Ericsson, I reckon he'll stay there next season, but Charles Leclerc is not there. I reckon, they got Antonio Fioco, who's also a rookie. They got Antonio Giovinazzi that they were thinking to put him in Sauber this season, but they said that he didn't have enough experience, like he had experience, but I think that he doesn't have enough experience to drive in Formula 1. I think he needs 1 or 2 more years, but I think he is definitely ready. And yeah, so I reckon it'll be Antonio Fioco. I reckon not Antonio Fioco. I reckon he'll be a reserve driver, but I think it'll be Antonio Giovinazzi and Marcus Ericsson. And by the time, that is it for my predictions. But by the time Sebastian Vettel retires, I reckon, and Charles Leclerc's been Ferrari for a long time, I reckon Antonio Giovinazzi will be in the Ferrari, and then Antonio Fioco will be in the Sauber, and then when, Charles Leclerc or Giovinazzi leaves, then, or it could be Antonio Fioco, or, George, you never know, George Russell could, it could be Antonio Fioco and George Russell in Sauber because they're the B team of Ferrari. And it could be Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull and Sauber fighting for, the Constructors' Championship. But I think that's all for today, guys. Thank you for, listening. If you do watch it, make sure you slap that like button, share to your friends, comment down below what you think your predictions are, and remember, press that notification bell to never miss a video, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. And if you do press those notification bells, you'll never miss any videos that are posted of Formula 1, of any other content that I put up on my channel. Till next time, guys, Elder Gaming is out. Goodbye.